In this lesson, we're going to look at creating linear equations. Our objective is to change a recursive routine into a linear equation and understand intercept form. Our vocabulary is linear equation, equation that creates a straight line graph. Intercept form, linear equation in the form y equals a plus bx or y equals bx plus a. Now the pluses could be minuses, it just depends on the type of numbers we're looking at. So first I want to look at just the basics of a recursive routine and our intercept form, which is the type of linear equation that we're going to typically use. Well, we have a start value of 5. We're adding 3 each time. So we would expect that this pattern would continue. When we do this, the main thing in intercept form is first to start with our a value, which is our start, which is 5. So since this is positive, we just put 5 in. Y equals 5. Then we want to look at our pattern, which is add 3. This is going to tell us what to do right here. This is telling us to add b. So here we want to add 3. And the x tells us how many times we need to repeat this pattern. So we have y equals 5 plus 3x. Another way to write it is like this. So again, a value is a 5. Because it's positive, we put a plus in front of it. Here we've got our b, which is positive 3. Since it's positive, we don't need a sign in front of it. And x tells us how many times to repeat. So we have our pattern. Alright, now we're going to use a problem, figure out the recursive routine, and create the pattern from it. Typically, we'll see this stuff written out in tables. Remember, 0 for an x value represents our start value. So first thing we need is our start value, which here is 20. Then we need to figure out our pattern. Okay, so our pattern from 20 to 18 is minus 2. Minus 2, minus 2. Okay, here we're skipping 2 spots, and we're going minus 4, so if we take negative 4 divided by 2, we get negative 2 again. Here we're skipping 5 spots, and we go minus 10. Negative 10 divided by 5 is negative 2, so it looks like our pattern is to minus 2, or subtract 2. Well, our linear equation is y equals a plus bx, a representing our start value, bx representing our pattern. So it looks like we're going to get y equals an a value, a start value of 20. Instead of adding b, our pattern says subtract 2. So we're going to subtract 2, and x tells us however many times we want to do it. So at 0, we'd put 0 in, 1, we'd put 1 in, and so on and so forth. So if we put 10 in, we take 2 times 10, which is 20. 20 minus 20 is 0, which agrees here. One more attempt just for practice. Recursive routine here. Well, our start value is always with the 0. It's not always going to be first. In both of mine, 0 was first, but we could have negative x values, so we got to look for the 0 right here. So our start value is -6, and then we need to figure out the pattern. So from -6 to -4.5 to 3, looks like we are adding 1.5. So our pattern, or our routine, is to plus 1.5. Remember, our linear equation, known as intercept form, is y equals a plus bx. So a is our start value, which is -6. Each time our pattern says we're going to add 1.5, and we need to know how many times we do that, so that's our x, because that changes. So we need a variable as it changes, and here's our pattern. Okay, if there's any questions or you need to watch something again about creating a linear equation, please rewind, watch again, bring any questions to class. Thank you.